number of people who came to Warren Buffett's 60th annual meeting broke all records. The first thing he said was that he was leaving Berkshire Hathaway after more than 50 years as CEO of the company. He also had a lot of new information to share with all the people who had been following him for a long time. This is where he thinks the future will go. I think this is very important right now because XRP will do very well if he is right about many of his predictions and what he thinks will happen in the future. I'm going to go into this a lot more. I'm going to talk about what Buffett said in the exact words for this thread breakdown that we have here on X, because it helped me a lot, and I'm sure it will do the same for you. The main point is that Berkshire has $335 billion, 0 cents in cash on hand. Buffett told some shocking facts about a lot of people who say it was the best meeting ever. Here's what happened. This is Buffett's 60th annual meeting, and he had more people than ever before. It was a shopping day, and 700 people came. Candy sales went up by $317 billion. Brooks in 310, and Jawswares doubled their record sales at $94 billion. There is still a lot of influence from Buffett, but we can also see that Berkshire Hathaway made a lot of sudden announcements that no one saw coming. For example, they made a big deal about investing in Japan, which has been a big focus of theirs lately. And as a side note, I'd like to quickly say that Japan and South Korea are both huge markets for XRP. We'll talk about that later, but for now, this is a very important matter. We're not going to sell those. Japan has a great track record when it comes to that. I think Kim Cook would tell you that iPhone sales are about the same there as they are in any other country besides the US. In this case, Warren is basically saying that the Japanese market is still growing in the business and technology areas, even though their population is going down. Even though he's a little bigger, it's still hard for me to really understand where he's going. It's okay that his speech isn't as good as it used to be. Basically, what he's saying is that their economy is growing and that businesses are very competitive and buy and sell a lot. These changes are very important because SBI Holdings is based in Japan and is a growing bank that handles money from other countries. They also work directly with Ripple and XRP. They're still going strong, continuing to grow and improve the tools that will rule the future. Greg Ayo, who will be taking over for Buffett, says that they meet with Japanese companies several times a year to make connections that will help them do big things around the world. It's not just an investment, it's a long-term relationship. And I'd also like to play this video clip very quickly because I think it's cool that Germany just put money into... Nope. I think you've touched on it, and I agree with everything you said. Warren, over time, I believe they would like to give us chances, and we'd like to take them. We get along great with each other, but what they do is different from what we do. They drink Georgia coffee, which is a popular Coca-Cola drink. They're not going to switch to Georgia coffee, and I haven't switched them to Cherry Coke, but the relationship is great. Okay, so this is also my experience. One of the Japanese people I've been doing business with for a while works in Bitcoin mining. Many Japanese people are very serious about their jobs, which is why the fact that the whole country of Japan and SBI assets are behind XRP is so important. I think it's cool that what Warren is talking about here is similar to the XRP army and how XRP will grow in the future. Another thing we can see is that Warren Buffett is talking about his cash pile. This is probably the most important thing we'll talk about in this video. If you didn't know, Warren Buffett has a record high $335 billion cents in cash on hand. When asked about this pile of cash, he told it like it was. I'm going to talk about what he says and what I think it means, since he can't always say what he means because of market manipulation. He can't say it directly, but he can give us hints about what was going through his mind. Enough of that, let's watch this video. Those choices would cost us $100 billion, 0 cents, which I doubt we would make when we are given something that makes sense, that we understand, that is valuable, and that we don't think we might lose. The only bad thing about trading is that things don't happen in a straight line. It's not like every day. That's great about the long-term record, but that's not a product. I've been in business for 16 million days. If I ran a numbers game, I would expect to keep 40% of whatever the handle was every day. There would only be one question: how much did we do? But we're not that kind of business, so ours is very, very, very opportunistic. And Charlie always thought I did too many things. He thought that if we did 5 things in our lives, we would be better off than if we did 50. That's really cool, right? Born isn't in a hurry to buy anything. He always looks at the prices first. He sees everything about a business. If he doesn't like something, he doesn't buy it or do anything. If there's one bad quarter that he doesn't agree with, he doesn't do it. His track record is so good because he only buys stocks when he thinks they're cheap. He won't buy anything or spend any money if he doesn't think it's a good buy. Even if he thinks the stock is a little too expensive, that's how he makes the most money. So he'll sit there with a pen and paper all day going over their finances, records, and everything else. He buys it if he thinks it's a good deal, and his track record shows that he makes more money when that happens. Over the last 50 years, Berkshire Hathaway has done pretty well. Take a look at these 400% gains. You would be pretty rich today if you had put your money into it a long time ago. That being said, I think that's a lot to learn about investing from that. I also think that Warren is giving us very useful information. He did say something very clear. If the chance came up tomorrow, we would spend $1 billion on it. He was basically saying that he doesn't think the markets are too expensive for things like stocks and other similar things. He doesn't really agree with the market. He doesn't want to buy it because he thinks it's too expensive. He isn't sure it will work out in the long run. To be honest, the market doesn't really give us the chance we want. That's another thing to keep in mind. The stock market has been having a lot of problems lately. Prices have gone through the roof. And the crypto market isn't much different. I don't think we've reached the top yet. The fact that the money supply is still rising and interest rates are still going down is a very strong sign that we have not reached. But at the same time, we want to keep a close eye on these numbers for things like dollar cost averaging. That's what I'm doing on my channel, to make sure we at least leave at a time that makes sense every year for about 15 months, which is why they have a lot of money. He also talks about tech stocks, more so than I did. I feel a little bad saying that Tim Cook has made Berkshire a lot more money than I've ever made for Berkshire. For the most part, he was saying that he had to be making a crazy amount of money working for Apple and other tech companies